doctors as a method for treating depression and obsessiveness, although it can have side effects like nausea or even loss of libido. 500,000 people in Britain have taken it, and 11 million people worldwide. Following the suicide of Ian Curtis, the lead singer and songwriter of Joy Division, Bernard Sumner was forced to take that role over in what became the band New Order.
How do I feel? Tell me now, how do I feel?
But Bernard finds lyric writing intensely hard work. Now he's teamed up with Johnny Marr, the guitarist from The Smiths, to form Electronic. After 15 long months working on their second album, it's time for Bernard to write the lyrics. Our first case study is songwriter Bernard Sumner. 15 months after starting work on Electronic's new album at their studio in Manchester, perfectionist Bernard now has to get down to writing some lyrics. Compared with working on the music, getting the words out is an agony.
And get extremely frustrated and go to bed. Wake up the next day extremely frustrated, scratch my head for another 5 hours, and then get depressed about it, and then get annoyed at myself, and then get so angry that I'll start writing then. Yeah. I've got to go through like a period of it's like breaking a horse really every time I come to do it.
Bernard keeps on tinkering with the music instead of writing the words. Tension is rising as the band's guitarist, Johnny Marr, waits for him to come up with some lyrics.
It's much easier for me to work, certainly with guitar, around a vocal that's already there. Just because that's what I like to do, orchestrate the singer.
It's the hairiest bit of the record for me, because what I
do to do it.
Beg pardon.
Because you have to come up with it.
No, I thought you said because you never do it.
No, I did.
Bernard's problem is that he's afflicted by hypercritical voices when he writes.
I've always got this voice, I've always got this other person going, this other pair of eyes and ears watching me, going, you can't do that, can't do that.
These sorts of self-attacking voices are a classic symptom of mild depression.
A kind of melancholic person, I won't say depressed person, but occasionally melancholic person. I found that when I have got depressed, that I just can't work at all.
Having started on the Prozac, Bernard goes for a 2-week skiing holiday with his family and video camera.
Coming by on the left-hand side.
Before, he hopes, getting down to writing the lyrics.
Through the forest.
Do you feel a bit more ready to take things on with Prozac? Does it make you more positive?
No, not really.
James.
I don't moan as much, do I?
No.
Do you find that I'm a person who moans a lot? Would you go as far as say I was generally miserable?
Yeah, I would, generally, but not here, not at the moment.
Since you've been taking the Prozac out, since we came on holiday?
Since you've been taking it.
Back in Manchester from his holiday, Bernard feels ready to start work on the lyrics.
Normally, if I'm writing lyrics, it's like trying to squeeze the last bit of toothpaste out of the toothpaste tube. And
Yesterday you said that you enjoyed it, didn't you say you enjoyed it?
I did, yeah.
And we asked for that in writing, so that's quite unusual.
Bernard writes alone in a room adjoining the studio, using a tape of the backing music as a guide.
I should do that.
He settles down to tackle the words for the first song.
Since I've started on the Prozac, the flow of writing lyrics was good. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't put barriers in front of myself and hurdles in front of myself by overtly self-criticising myself. It was still a self-critical factor, but it wasn't destructive. and it wasn't crippling. I don't attack myself as much now. If I get stuck on something, since I've started on the Prozac, the flow of writing lyrics was good. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't put barriers in front of myself and hurdles in front of myself by overtly self-criticising myself. It was still a self-critical factor, but it wasn't destructive and it wasn't crippling. I don't attack myself as much now. If I get stuck on something and I can't get a lyric for a chorus of a certain song, before I would have gone, oh God, you've lost it. You know, you've dried up, you've lost it. You're never going to be able to write this song, and start piling it all on top. There is a certain energy that can come out of a negativity, but it's a very fine dividing line whether it's constructive or crippling when you get too self-critical.
Bernard's most famous lyrics, such as the hit Blue Monday, have been notoriously dark.
Tell me, how does it feel when your heart grows cold, grows cold, grows cold?
He feels the Prozac has made his new lyrics less introverted.
What I tend to write about now, rather than lyrics to be so introverted and inward-looking, maybe they're a bit more observational now, about the outside world and about people that I've known and about how the world looks to me rather than how I look to me. You know, sometimes you feel sad for no apparent reason. That doesn't happen on the Prozac. I don't feel sad for no apparent reason.
So your lyrics don't have that in them?
No, they don't, no. No. But that's not a bad thing. People might think, oh, you know, if they hear that then, oh, that's unrealistic then. But it's not, because when you do, if you do think back about things that have happened to you, they still seem sad to you. But it doesn't make you sad. Yes!
Done. One song written.
You finish your lines?
Yes, done, sir.
Very
Go on now.
And replace it.
It seems that by reducing Bernard's self-critical depression, Prozac enabled him to get down to writing the lyrics for his new album. It made the words less negative, but without destroying his aesthetic judgment, as he was still able to tell that the words are less sad. It also changed his view of the musical backing. Before Prozac, the backing had a doom-laden quality to it.
So that's what it sounded like before. I felt it needed to be more aggressive, that the basic atmosphere in the song was quite brooding, and that should be complemented by an aggressive production.
When the band got together to play the final version, the backing was less brooding, more upbeat, perhaps matching Bernard's sadness-free mood.
Some people shine while others touch the ground. It's like walking in the snow. The rain falls, then we grow.
Depression is aggression directed against the self, saying things like, I'm stupid, I'm fat, I'm ugly, for no good reason. As Bernard found, Prozac often redirects aggression outwards, away from the self, enabling people to act more assertively and to think more constructively about themselves.
The rain falls, then we grow. It's happening right now. It's got to be somehow. The rain falls, then we grow. grow.
On the evidence of this very small sample, many melancholic artists would also be happier and more productive if they took Prozac.